Hello, my fellow weirdos. I just did a short on this, but the deportation saga just gets more cruel. How can it get more cruel? Well, Global X, is the airlines being used. The flight attendants have just come out, and more than one, several, saying that they've asked the pilots if something happens, we're flying over water. If something happens, the cabin catches on fire or something, and we gotta go, land on water. How are we supposed to deal with that? Because all the detainees are handcuffed and their feet are shackled. We're trained how to deplane. I don't know what that noise was. Deplane, folks, but not when they're handcuffed and shackled. I mean, when you're shackled, your feet, can only step so high without hopping up. But if you're gonna have to hop up, you have to hold on to something, and if your hands are cuffed, how are we supposed to do? And the pilots told them, if that happens, get yourself out, make sure the guards pilot is out, but that's not your job. So basically, let the detainees drown. Let that sink in. Does that disturb you as much as it's disturbing me? I mean, that's horrendous. These flight attendants, just imagine you're a flight attendant and you're having to be on, you can't keep denying to do the flights, otherwise you'll lose your job. Fine. You'll do it. I'm trying to be as, to these people. I mean, if you realize they're not all criminals. And then you're told that. For flight attendants, they're responsible for all the bodies, all the people there. Because they are the only ones that are trained in anything. And while the pilot and the co-pilot are flying the flippin' plane, it is the stewardesses that used to be called flight attendants' job for just about everything. That's like telling a nurse there was 3 bus accidents and 3 busloads of people are coming in, but if it's your break time, go ahead and break. That's more important. You say, Judy, those are criminals. No. 60 Minutes recently did something that said 75% of the people that have been deported under Rapist Felon 47, 75% of them have no crime at all found. No ties to anything suspicious. 75% of them. Because it was a tattoo or somebody they know, So, and of the 75% that were not criminals, maybe a dozen or so from records, a dozen or so were being, having court cases for like murder or rape or something like that. Something that has, a person or a living thing as the victim. Things like that. A dozen or so out of all of them. And the ones that aren't the 75% that had nothing and weren't the ones with criminal ones, the ones that were left had minor, like traffic violations, just little misdemeanor type of things, nothing big. They didn't pay parking tickets or, non-violent type of stuff. And these are the people they're told, get yourself out, make sure those pilots and the officers, the guards are out, but the detainees, you know what? I worked for a decade in the state prisons in Arizona. Your job is to make sure, especially if they're restrained, they are your responsibility. Since we have, disabled them enough that they can't react and, the way they typically would, they would need help for things because we've deliberately put them in restraints that they can't do things easily. So you're always starting, and so are cops. They are and so are EMTs. Like, drive carefully, because those people, they're your responsibility. And if you do something that causes their death, you're responsible for it. And I know you're taught that because I was a corrections officer in a state prison. Not a jail, a prison. Transport officers and stuff. You are responsible for that life, that restrained life in your care. The flight attendants know that. They are told the same thing. These passengers are your responsibility. You are responsible to do everything you can to help them in case of an emergency. I've had friends that used to be flight attendants. They've told me the same thing. I mean, I had a friend, 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago now, that was one. Well, had been one. And because we were talking about the different training for, working in the prison as opposed to the flight. We're like, how much we have to learn the same thing almost, except for the firearms. But even then, they probably these days should be just taught a cursory kind of quick thing, I would think, because of all the shit going on. But can you imagine being a flight attendant and being told that? Knowing what's been drilled into your head for your entire career, that your passengers are your responsibility. And legally they are. And they say if something happens, then we have to, touch down in the water. Get yourself out, get the officers out, get the guards out, get the pilots out. Get everybody out that's not detained. Everybody else that's not cuffed and shackled. Don't risk your life to help any of them. Not like in that kind of situation, and that question has come up before in like transports, bus transports that, hell, there's been movies made on that, like have an accident, they have to get everybody out, but they can't when they're shackled and cuffed. And the guards fucking undo them, because it's a fucking life, especially if the inmates or detainees have not done anything violent, like a murder, a rape, a hostage, abduction, those kind of things that put a life at peril or ended a life. My nose is itchy. And I don't want to do another take. So you're going to have to watch me itch my nose. It's a pretty day after all that rain for like 4 or 5 days. It's chilly right now and breezy, but the sun is out. So, but yeah, can you imagine when that happened? There are times and circumstances that sometimes you need to unlock the cuffs, because especially if they did not do a violent crime or a crime against a specific person, type of thing. Nobody was damaged. The turmoil. And there, oh my God. It's just horrendous. Just the thought of that is like, are you effing joking me? If you have an iota of compassion, altruism, that would seriously disturb you. I can see one of my signs for the next protest will have to be something about something short that says it all. I'm going to be making signs in the next week, here and there, that one of them is, oh hell no, they've got to go. I saw a sign in all those protests. That's where I got some of the ideas. Some of them are my own. But I saw one, and oh, I liked it. Grab him by the testicles. Grab him by the testicles. That's it. Testicles. Oh my, I love it. I know y'all have seen this one. It was an older woman like me holding it. I'd call Donald a cunt, but he lacks warmth and depth. Do you remember the first term he was in? England, London, did a big protest. It was at night. Excuse my voice because it's early, but I've mentioned it before. And it was, all you saw, it was night, so you just saw a lot of silhouetting, holding up lights or whatever. And they were singing. They had like a little drum or something just to give a little, beat. They were singing, hey, Donald Trump, I want to know why you're such a cunt. They're singing the message, because a lot of you may know that across the pond, words like cunt, twat, that's in their normal language. Even children use them. It just means a dipwad, a dip shit, a tool, an idiot, a fuck up, an asshole, just a total bitch, you know what I mean? And so twat and cunt is not, see, because in America the word cunt, a lot of females just like, we bristle on it because it's been used by men as the ultimate derogatory slur for women when you want to try to degrade them or insult them. You call them a cunt. It's far worse than a bitch in America. It's worse than a skank. Seriously. But across the pond, I got desensitized to it back then, because when I heard that song, it just, come on, that chant is just, it's just too damn good. Hey, Donald Trump, I want to know why you're such a cunt. Dude, it's perfect. It's got a, like, it can do a sing song. It's easy to remember. It does a little rhyming. It's catchy. It's question, you know. It's not like you're making a statement. You're asking somebody something. People find things easier to ask than, you know, state. And I know she saw that, because that was, I like that. I'd call Donald a cunt, but he lacks warmth and depth. Oh, it's gotta hurt. Grab him by the testicles. Love that one. The waste, fraud, and abuse are Elon, Donald, and Republicans. But the cunt one and the testicles, I'm going to make two-sided signs like I did on my other sign. Even if I do cardboard ones, I'll do two cardboard ones, put them back to back, you know. And the testicles and the cunt one are going to be on the same side. That's my naughty sign. That's my naughty message sign. And the oh hell no, they've got to go. I want to use a picture I have of an aerial view of the Statue of Liberty. So, you know, it's one of those long views type of thing with the city out there, like in a panoramic fisheye kind of view from way above. It's really impressive. And she's wearing sunglasses. Statue of Liberty is wearing mirror sunglasses. So, I'd like to put, you can get it, send the picture and get it printed out. Or maybe somebody can print it out for me, and I'll just waterproof it like I do my other signs, just on cardboard. But yeah, the cunt and the testicles are going to be one on either side. But I'd like on the oh hell no, they've got to go, the Statue of Liberty with the sunglasses. Oh hell no, they've got to go on the one side, and then the waste, fraud, and abuse one on the other side. Although I have seen some others that were fabulous. Let me read you some, just a few that were fabulous. Illegal immigrants aren't stealing your jobs. Elon is. There's a picture. It says, say no to, and D-I-C-K as in dictatorship. And it's a picture of Donald's head, very long neck, and at the bottom 2 balls. So it looks like he is. His head and shoulders are a dick and balls. Funny as shit. Funny as shit. They're eating the checks. They're eating the balances. And it's got little Pac-Man and little ghosts on it. Little, you know. Clever. Grab them by the testicles. Love that. Love it. Science keeps your dumb ass alive. And that's held by another woman. You know, the ones that are all sassy and feisty and saucy, a lot of times are the women. Hurrah, women! Yes! April 19th. Next national protest. It's official. Start your planning. It's coming. Don't be surprised if June 14th and July 4th are also national protest days. Pretty sure. But I'm positive of April 19th. You go, what, Judy? In just 2 weeks? Uh-huh. That is correct. And we will keep doing it. We were not, oh yeah, now the head's going. We were not kidding when we said you didn't cover it the first time. a month ago? We'll go bigger. We'll go louder. And we did. They wanted to kind of brush it off a little as, oh, some states, some big cities, people were upset. Excuse me. They tried to do that with this last one. Yeah. Didn't work. A lot of this footage from all over the country is getting out. Some people say over 3 million, some people say over 5 million. When you're counting, the 3 million for the big, like the hands-off protests. But you had a lot of other places like indivisible.org that were next, but they weren't, figured into hands-off. You had the 50501 movement, and you had all the local across the country, little groups that have, popped up. There was like close to 5 million because they said over 3 just by the hands off. But that didn't take into account all the small ones that weren't really affiliated under any of the other big protest, groups that have come up. So National Alt Parks. So yeah, dudes, man. Too big to deny. So start making your signs. Go on, start making your signs. Go get the stuff to make. Go make your signs, people. Don't sit here. I'm done. I'm not going to babble longer. Go on. Go on. I know. Every time my thing beeps, you gotta go make a sign. What? I'm not gonna change it now, even if I can, until you all show me your signs. Do a little video, put it on your channel, and tag me. Give me there. I'll see it. Show me your signs. Come on. Even if you don't post. Oh, my profile's just empty. That's okay. Post a little short. Grab the phone. Grab your phone. Make a selfie with your sign. Post it on your channel. Now your channel isn't naked. It has something. A protest sign. That's gotta be a hoorah, right? I'm serious. If anybody wants to go through that to post it, let me see it. Show me your signs! Peace out, guys.